Have you ever caught yourself quietly questioning why something works the way it does, even when everyone else just shrugs and moves on? Or maybe you find yourself pausing in conversation, thinking before you speak, while others jump right in. If that sounds familiar, stick around, because today we're covering 10 subtle, everyday patterns that quietly signal your intelligence might be higher than you give yourself credit for. These aren't about acing tests or collecting degrees. They're unconscious habits in how your brain naturally operates. And the cool part, if even a handful of these describe you, it's strong evidence your mind is wired in a sharper, more insightful way. First, you question everything. You don't just accept things at face value. Even everyday stuff prompts a quiet, "Why is it like that?" You're not trying to argue or prove someone wrong. You genuinely want to understand. That drive sharpens your critical thinking without sliding into cynicism. It's exactly why you spot cracks in systems, rules, or ideas that most people never even notice. Second, you talk less and think more. While a lot of people rush to fill silence, you pause. You think before you react. That pause isn't hesitation or shyness. It's deliberate mental filtering. Research actually shows that more intelligent people tend to verbalize ideas internally first, editing and refining them before anything comes out. When you finally speak, the words usually land with more weight and clarity.
Third,
You're obsessed with patterns. Your brain is constantly scanning for connections in people's behavior, in conversations, in data, in almost anything. You notice links others miss, which lets you predict how things might unfold before they do. It's not some mystical gift. It's just heightened pattern sensitivity doing its thing. Fourth, you think in layers, not loops. Sure, you might overthink, but it's not spinning in useless circles. You peel back layers, imagining outcomes, spotting potential flaws, mentally testing fixes, then boiling it all down to what actually matters. It's like playing mental chess many moves ahead. That kind of strategic depth is analytical strength, not anxiety. Fifth, you read, but not the way most people do. You don't finish books just to check them off a list. You're mining them for new ways of thinking. One day it's philosophy, the next it's coding or psychology or history. That jumping between topics isn't scattered, it's cross-training your brain. High-intelligence minds thrive on variety, not just volume. Sixth, you can actually sit in silence, and you like it. Most people get uncomfortable when things get quiet, because silence forces them to face their own thoughts. But you seek it out. That quiet space is where your mind sorts chaos, connects dots, and generates those aha insights that seem to appear from nowhere. You're not antisocial, you're just processing at a deeper level. Seventh, you're brutally honest with yourself. You don't sugarcoat your own mistakes to feel better in the moment. When something goes wrong, you own it. That's on me. That raw self-awareness is surprisingly rare. It's also what keeps fueling real growth, because you can't improve what you won't clearly see. Eighth, you love solving problems, even when nobody asked. You see inefficiency, and your brain immediately wants to fix it. You build shortcuts, automate little things, design better systems, purely because it's satisfying. It's not about showing off. For you, playing with problems is genuinely enjoyable cognitive fun. Ninth, you manage energy, not just time. While most people block out hours on a calendar, you protect your mental peaks. You know when your focus is sharpest. Maybe mornings for deep work, afternoons for creative flow, and you guard those windows. You don't force productivity against the grain. You align with your natural cognitive rhythm. And 10th, the twist most people don't expect. You know how to sound completely normal. Truly sharp minds don't always try to sound the smartest person in the room. Instead, you simplify complex ideas so other people can follow and feel included. That blend of raw intellect and emotional awareness is powerful. Real genius isn't about dazzling people with big words. It's about making the people around you feel smarter. So here's the takeaway. You don't need awards, titles, or test scores to prove intelligence. These habits already show how your mind works, and that's more telling than any number. If 3 or more of these hit home, don't brush it off. You're likely operating at a higher level than you realize. The real question isn't, how smart am I? It's how well am I using the mind I've already got? Which one of these patterns do you notice in yourself the most? Drop the number in the comments. I'm curious to see how many of us share these quiet signs. If this resonated, hit that like button so YouTube shows it to more people who need the reminder. And if you want more no-nonsense psychology that actually makes sense of everyday behavior, subscribe and turn on notifications. Next time, we're breaking down why some people recharge in silence while others need constant stimulation, and what it really says about the brain. See you in the next one.